Hello and welcome to Picture Astrology. In this video we will talk about something which is very controversial, and more importantly no clear reasoning for either believing or not believing in this concept is provided by anyone, and I'm talking about the concept of Karaka Bhav Nashay, which is very peculiar to Vedic astrology. This kind of concept doesn't exist in other forms, or especially the Western form of astrology. And as I said, it is controversial because people have very distinct notion about whether such a thing even occurs or not occur. But in this video we will see what this concept means and a conclusive reasoning behind whether to apply this or not apply this. So very briefly, what is this Karaka Bhav Nashay concept? So, in nutshell, if I say, in Vedic astrology, every house is known as bhava, and every bhav has a planet which is supposed to be its permanent significator. Say for example, if you are talking about say 4th house, the house of mother, then the planet moon is the permanent significator of mother, or moon is the Karka of 4th house. And the concept of Karaka Bhav Nashay says that if moon is present in the 4th house, meaning the Karka planet is present in the bhav itself, then it can cause nash of that house. Now one of the extreme definition of this word is total destruction of that house, and therefore at a first glance, this sutra seems very odd, to the extent that many of the modern astrologers, they just do not believe in this concept at all. And in fact, many very good astrologers go on to the extent of saying that anything written in Sanskrit language should not be kind of taken on face value, and wrong things can be written in old books which are primarily written in Sanskrit and so on. And then there are a large group of traditional astrologers who always believe in this. But both the group have, as I said in the beginning, no clear reasoning for that, whether it should be applied or not applied. Now in this video I will be using some of the concepts which I have been talking about in my channel, and also I have introduced in my book, which is the basics of house signs and planets. So people who have bought this book, thank you so much, and I'm going to just demonstrate how those fundamental concepts have to be applied in this case. And at the end of the video I will also have a special gift for all the people who have already bought the book. So to understand this concept, first of all, let's understand the two main astrological concepts which are used here. First of all, it is bhava, which in English is translated as house, but bhav in Sanskrit truly means a thought or a feeling, and this is the most basic level of existence with no tangibility. It's just a thought. It's what you feel like. And Karka, as we saw, planets are the Karka in this case, but the word Karka doesn't only mean significator. What it means, it means the reason for existence of something. Karka means Karana. That means why something exists, the reason for existence. So in general, Vedic principle believes that Karkas are the reason why a particular thought exists. And it will be probably easier if we look at an example. So as an example, say you want to drink coffee. Now this is the bhava, the thought, a feeling. You want to drink coffee. And this thought exists because somewhere in this world, the Karka of this thought, that exists. Now that is the coffee beans. the basic fundamental ingredient for making the coffee. Now, this is a good way to understand the Karka and the Bhav or house. And as you can see, the coffee beans are the basic entity. If there was no coffee beans on earth, there would be no thought of somebody wanting to drink coffee. But the thing to note is that Karka basically represents the very basic unit of a thought. So if you are saying that you want to have some coffee, you are definitely not saying that you want to chew the raw beans. What you are desiring for is a sophisticated form of the basic Karka of coffee beans. So, if you see it that way, that if you desired, if your bhav was that you want to simply chew on coffee beans, then there is no Karaka Bhav Nashay. But if you want to have a sophisticated form like coffee, you want to drink coffee made out of coffee beans, then when you are drinking the coffee, if you get 2-3 pieces of the big chunks of coffee beans, what it will do? It will destroy your taste of the coffee you want. And that, my dear friends, is precisely the reason behind Karaka Bhav Nashay. So this concept doesn't deny you the basic access to that bhav or thought. So, moon, say in 4th house, will not deny you mother, but it will cause another or different kind of complications. And that is why there is another important saying in Sanskrit related to Karaka Bhav Nashay, which goes like Karak Grah Samyukto Bhav Swalpa Phalaprada, which literally means that when a house is associated with its Karaka Graha, then there will be some lessening of good effects of that bhava. And that is probably a milder way or a more acceptable way of putting this concept in. But the traditional astrological texts were always written in what now seems like very dramatic language. If you read any of them, the description of, the language used in those Sanskrit texts, they are thousands of years old. I don't know how the linguistic sentiments at that time were, but in today's world, those adjectives used in those books, sound very dramatic. That's why Karaka Bhav Nashay seems so dramatic that, as I said, many very, very good astrologers simply rubbish it out. But that is not so. In reality, in practice, you can clearly see this play out in various situations. And I'll now quickly list down some of the most important placements which are considered to be part of this Karaka Bhav Nashay. So in general, see, Jupiter in the 2nd house for money, Mars in 3rd for siblings, Moon in 4th for mother, Mercury in 4th for education, Jupiter in 5th for kids, Jupiter and Venus in 7th for marriage of man and woman, Sun in 9th and 10th was for father and luck related to father, and also Saturn in 8th. These are some of the most important placements where this concept is applied. And as we saw, the implication of this concept is very, very different than mere destruction of the house. That doesn't happen, okay? And if you really want to know more about how each of these placements which I have listed here are related to Karaka Bhav Nashay and how they can be interpreted, then please check the link below in the description. And there are definite exceptions to this rule also. There are, 2-3 very important exceptions, including an important question as to whether this concept of Karaka Bhav Nashay is applicable only when a planet is placed in that house or bhav, or it is also applicable when there is an aspect of the Karka planet on that house. That's also a question which remains equally controversial as this subject or saying Karaka Bhav Nashay itself. So for people who are really interested in understanding, all these basic rules of Karaka Bhav Nashay, how this list plays out, and also these exceptions along with whether the aspect works, please check the link in the details or the description section. And since I've used concept which I have kind of discussed in that basic book, people who have bought my book, I will be sending a special gift. So please be on the lookout in your email for that. But I really hope that this video would have given you a new perspective about how to look at astrological concepts and understand them in the larger framework of life. So thank you friends, please do like and subscribe to my channel to continue to get updates like this. And with new year 2021, I am really trying to be more consistent with the videos, so you will probably see me much more active in bringing out such videos. So I really wish we can connect more during this year. So please do put in your comments and questions related to this. I'll be eagerly waiting for them. Thank you.